If you're the girl who keeps saying, "I'll do it when I feel ready," listen to me carefully. Your brain is lying to you. You think you need confidence before you can take action, but here's the truth bomb that changes everything. You've got it backwards. In the next 8 minutes, I'm going to flip everything you thought you knew about confidence upside down. And fair warning, by the end of this video, you're going to feel a little called out, but also dangerously empowered. So stay with me, because this is important. I'm going to expose myself a little here, but one time I was so obsessed with a guy that I literally deleted all my Spotify playlists because they reminded me of him. Cringe, right? But here's what I want you to understand. I used to be that girl who waited to feel confident before doing anything. I'd sit there thinking, once I feel more sure of myself, then I'll apply for that job, then I'll post that content, then I'll speak up in meetings. And you know what? That day never came. Because here's what most people don't realize. We all have this belief system that's completely backwards. We think confidence is something that happens to us. Like one day we'll wake up and boom, we're confident. Like it's some magical feeling that's going to drop from the sky. But plot twist. That's not how confidence works, at all. And I know this because I went through 28 psychological studies and interviewed dozens of people to figure out the real formula. And what I discovered changed my entire life. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Confidence is an output, not an input. Let me say that again because this is the key to everything. Confidence is what comes out of your actions, not what goes into them. Think about it like this. If I told you I wanted to lose weight, but instead of going to the gym, I just wrote, "I am fit, I am healthy, I am skinny," on my bathroom mirror every morning, you'd call me delusional, right? You'd be like, "Girl, affirmations aren't going to make you lose weight. You actually have to go to the gym." But somehow, when it comes to confidence, we think we can just manifest it. We think if we journal enough, meditate enough, do enough affirmations, the confidence will magically appear, and then we'll take action. But that's literally the same as expecting to lose weight without working out. Your brain doesn't work that way, and here's why. Your brain is wired for survival, not success. When you haven't done something before, your brain goes into protective mode. It's like, I don't know what's going to happen here, so I'm going to make you feel scared. Because if you're scared, you'll avoid this thing, and if you avoid it, you won't die. Your brain is literally trying to keep you alive, not help you thrive. But here's where it gets interesting. Once you do the thing, once you survive it, your brain updates its database. It's like, oh, okay, we didn't die. Cool, we can do that again. And that's when confidence starts to build. So let me break down the actual formula for building real confidence. It's not complicated, but it is different from what you've been taught. The formula is this. Action creates evidence, evidence builds identity, and identity produces confidence. Let me show you exactly how this works. When I first moved to California, I had no money, no confidence, literally nothing. But I had to make it work, so I took a sales job and I committed to working from 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. I read 5 books on sales, I practiced my pitch over and over, and then I made my first sale. It wasn't the celebration that mattered, it was how I felt about myself in that moment. That single piece of evidence, that one sale, started building a new identity. My brain was like, oh, you're someone who can sell things. And from that identity came confidence. But here's what you need to understand. Confidence is like a muscle. You know how if you don't use a muscle, it gets weaker? Same thing with confidence. You can't build it once and be done. You have to keep using it, keep putting pressure on it, or it atrophies. Now you're probably thinking, okay, but where do I even start? And this is where most people mess up. They try to make massive changes overnight. They're like, starting Monday, I'm going to be a completely different person. Don't do that. Here's what actually works. Start so small, you literally cannot fail. I learned this from my trainer. When I first started working with her, she didn't tell me to eat less or work out more. You know what she told me to do? Make my bed every morning and send her a photo. That's it. Week 1. Make bed, take photo. That was the whole assignment. And you know why that worked? Because it was so easy that I built immediate evidence. My brain got proof that I could keep promises to myself, and that evidence made it easier to take the next step, and the next, and the next. So here's what I want you to do. Don't try to overhaul your entire life. Just pick one tiny thing. Maybe it's making your bed. Maybe it's drinking water first thing in the morning. Something so small that you'd be embarrassed to tell people that's your goal. But let me tell you something that nobody else will say. You don't need to eliminate fear before you take action. In fact, that's impossible. Fear is always going to be there. Listen to me carefully now. The goal is not to stop being scared. The goal is to do the thing while you're scared. This is the part where it gets real. I used to think confident people just didn't feel fear. I'd watch someone give a presentation and think, wow, they're so calm, they must not be nervous at all. But that's not true. What I learned is that emotion follows motion, not the other way around. When I first started speaking on stage, my heart was literally racing at 190 beats per minute. My mouth was dry, my hands were shaking. But here's what happened. 15 seconds in, my heart rate dropped to 150. 1 minute in, my mouth started producing saliva again. 2 minutes in, I forgot I was even nervous. Fear is a mile wide and an inch deep. It feels massive, but the second you step through it, you realize it was paper thin. So here's how I want you to think about fear. Don't try to meditate it away. Don't try to manifest it away. Don't try to therapy it away. Just put it in your purse and bring it with you. Fear is like my little friend that I carry around. I know it's there. I feel it. But I'm going to do the thing anyway. Real confidence isn't, I'm not scared. Real confidence is, I'm scared and I'm doing it anyway. So let me wrap this up with the most important thing I want you to remember. Success doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care about your background, your education, how much money you have, or how many times you've failed before. The only thing confidence cares about is whether or not you put in the work. The people who seem more confident than you, they're not special. They're not gifted. They just did the work that you haven't done yet. That's it. So here's my challenge for you, and I want you to take this seriously. I don't want you to wait until Monday. I don't want you to wait until you feel ready. I want you to pick one tiny action that you're going to take today. Not tomorrow. Today. Maybe it's sending that email you've been putting off. Maybe it's posting that video you filmed 3 weeks ago. Maybe it's literally just making your bed and taking a photo. I don't care how small it is. Just pick something and do it. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to do that one small thing, and your brain is going to collect that evidence. And that evidence is going to start building a new identity. And that identity is going to create real, unshakable confidence. This was the Siren Scriptures. Let me know in the comments what your one tiny action is going to be today. I want to hear from you. And remember, you don't need to feel confident to be confident. You just need to move. Stay confident, smart, and glowing.